Test, 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 test. Testing, testing.
What's that?
Can I get a roll call?
Absolutely can. Ms. Barton? Mr. Bajaro is absent at this time. Mrs. Evans? Present. Mr. Foster?
Present.
Present. Mr. McLaughlin is also absent. Mr. Stump?
Present. And pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will be prepared to lead, expect excellence, accept responsibility for our actions, respect ourselves, each other, and our district, stay focused on safety and learning.
Subject C is the approval of the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion.
Mr. Foster. Mr. Barton. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Yes. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Citizens?
Nope.
Written communication?
Nope.
And moving on to special presentations, we have Barton Mallow for the bond information. Welcome.
That's okay.
Yeah.
How do I get this on camera? Anyone knows?
Thank you so much for having us. I'm Stephanie Hashey with Barton Mallow, and this is Larry Mikowski. We're here to just give you a quick update on where things stand with facility assessments and just to see, what we've done in the district so far. So a little bit about our team. So we are Barton Mallow. We are the construction manager for the project, and we also do the bond planning process. So we look at the facilities, we work with your administration and your district to determine what the needs are in the community or in your district. In addition to that, we have PFM. They're the financial advisors for the district. So they work and they tell you what your tax base is, the options for different bond proposals, your millages, what the rates would be, how much revenue you could generate. And we work with PFM a lot in lots of projects across Michigan. And then Bonnick and Cassie, that's the other part of our team. They're the election specialists. So they're the people who know how to get bonds passed. They give you the information. They make sure they do focus panels and get community engagement to make sure that the community, that the plan we put forward is what the community supports, and that they're happy with the plan and they feel that that's what's best for the district. So we'll work with the community and your team to kind of make sure everyone's aligned on the best plan to put before the voters. Just a quick talking through of what we're going to do today. We have an overview. We're going to talk about the infrastructure needs that we've come across as Larry and our team have walked through your buildings. Some other findings like technology, safety, security, those types of things. Talk about the time frame of how the process goes, what the process typically entails, and then talk about next steps, like where we are in the process and then what to look forward to moving forward. And then we'll have time for questions. So, before we go, any questions? All right. So just a quick overview. We had a kickoff meeting on June 4th where we came in, our team, with Kelsey from Bonnick and Cassie, Larry and myself, and then Brian, who heads our technology group, and then Kyle, who is for Barton Mallow, kind of the money person who makes sure that things are aligned financially. We all met, did a kickoff meeting, and then the week of June 16th, our team came and met with your facilities teams and then looked at all of your buildings to just assess, kind of looking right now what the needs are in every building. So they're looking at things like, and we'll see some pictures and Larry will talk more about it, but yeah, how are the lights? What does the HVAC equipment look like? Does the floor need to be replaced? Those types of just kind of critical infrastructure needs. So that happened the week of June 16th. And just some kind of fun facts about your district. You have 5 buildings and your total square footage is just under 500,000 square feet. So kind of cool, 488,246 square feet that we walked and looked at. I'll turn it over to Larry to talk about infrastructure.
All right. Thanks, Steph. Good evening, everybody. Glad to be here. So when we walked all those 488,000 square feet, we looked at all these categories listed here, as well as some others that aren't listed, which we'll discuss later. And we like to look at things in like a 10-year lens. So like, for instance, this carpet, right? It looks great today, but fast forward 10 years, you might want to consider replacing it. So that would be maybe in this case, a priority 3, something to consider. Within 10 years, you might want to budget to replace an item like that. So that's kind of the lens we looked at. But then you have other things like roofs that are leaking now, boilers that are maybe failing that might keep school from being open on a given day. That would be a priority 1. So that's the lens that we applied all of our sidewalks to. So some of the site conditions we noticed, I'm sure you've all seen the same things that we observed. A lot of paving and concrete that's spalling, cracking, failing. This is definitely something that would make the list. Something like this would probably be we categorize that as a priority 1 or 2. Something you want to maybe budget for replacement sooner rather than later. Some of the site furnishings, like the basketball nets that we saw, and those are items that definitely would make the list, and you'd want to consider budgeting for their replacement as well. Roofing. All your roofs are pretty old. They're across the board. 20, 30 plus years is what I was hearing. And really, it's actually kind of incredible that they're in as good a shape as they're in. You can see some of the staining that indicates that those are areas where water's been ponding. That's not what you want on your roof. That indicates that might be a troublesome area. Jody mentioned that there's been several patches on the roof, but I mean, to his credit, this roof looks pretty good for a 30-year-old roof, but it's probably something that should be considered for replacement as well. Here's another picture. This was at North. You can see standing water, and you can see a drain right here. You don't want there to be water not getting to a roof drain. That indicates that maybe there's something structurally wrong with the roof. I threw this picture in here because we saw evidence of a roof leak within 18 inches of a IT rack. That could be bad if that.
It's not where you want your roof. You don't want a roof leak, but it's certainly not there.
So moving inside the building, again, applying that 10-year lens to our observations. You notice the ceiling tile. This was over at SOAP. You see the tile starting to sag. Again, today, does that have to be replaced right now? No, but within 10 years, those will continue to sag. And you just want to kind of plan to have those dollars in place for when that ceiling does start to fail. So something like that would be maybe a later priority, lower priority, but would still make the list. A lot of doors, aside from like the cosmetic damage on a lot of the doors, really throughout the district, the interior doors didn't look terrible, but this was at SOAP again, a lot of veneer falling off the doors. These door handles also, they're not to code anymore. The state requires the lever style. So again, just something that made the list, maybe a priority 2, something like that. Throughout the district, notice just some damaged casework. The bathrooms in a lot of cases were okay, but the partitions were showing signs of maybe bad aim at the elementary level. So we those made the list as well. This was a major area for I think concern to everybody, and I don't think it's a surprise. A lot of these mechanical systems are very old. These rooftop units here at the high school, You could just tell by looking at them. These are pretty old units. And they're just getting to that stage in their life cycle where they're maintenance hogs. And the older these pieces of equipment get, the harder it is to find parts. You got to get creative, which your facilities team has been doing. You got a great team. They're getting creative on how to keep these units running in a lot of cases. So something like that would definitely be budgeted for. Right here, this is a picture of one of your control panels. So these are the controls for the temperature controls for your buildings. And you'll see here, this is an air compressor that runs this. That's what we call a pneumatic control system. That's an old system. Again, it's not very reliable, breaks down a lot. Yeah, I mean, Jody can't see from his desk what's going on in the building. A lot of the modern digital systems allow him to do that. He can see from his desk what's going on at each unit, at each building. So we would definitely recommend budgeting for controls replacement throughout the district. And then again, just some miscellaneous condensing units throughout the district as well. But I would expect to see a lot of that on the list. Outside of the physical infrastructure, we also looked at the safety, security, and technology items. And Brian couldn't be here today from our tech team, but I'll try my best to speak tech as good as I can. But the video and doorbell access, a lot of that's relatively new, but what we saw a lot of is, there's a card swipe over here. It's even here at the front door. The card swipe, which is new, is active. It's working fine. It's brand new, but the legacy, the old system is still left in place. Works fine. It's just an observation that the old system is still there. You can see that resulted in like a mismatch of the hardware, which emergency, not really, but just an observation. Video recording servers are, again, they're relatively new. They're working fine. Might want to consider expanding the coverage. We noticed, there were some blind spots throughout some of the buildings. Just maybe something to consider. The emergency communication systems, again, looked fine, but they're alarm only. They don't really contact any local law enforcement or anything like that. So again, there are more robust systems out there to consider. PA systems, we saw that those were pretty old and could probably be in line for replacement. The badging and door access control seems to be up to date, functioning well. The fire alarm, this is a funny one. Not funny, but I chuckled. This is over at North. Mike, your facilities guy, who's great, by the way, he was very knowledgeable. He showed us the fire alarm panel, and he said, the only way I can keep this fire alarm panel from being in trouble mode and just beeping constantly is if I toggle this, there's a little switch in here somewhere, and it's got to be like right in the middle of the. He's like, if no one breathe, no one look at this thing, because if it moves, this thing will go into trouble mode and I can't get it out. So that was a problem throughout the district. And lastly, emergency generators. There's one at North, I believe, that the district thinks should probably be replaced because it's getting beyond its useful life. As far as tech goes, kind of a mixed bag of like old and new. We'd recommend recabling all the buildings. There's a lot of old Cat5 cable that's like a previous generation of cable throughout the buildings. So you probably want to upgrade to the modern cabling. That's the cabling inside the building that's above the ceilings in most cases. Your network infrastructure is like in the 5 to 6 year old range. Typically that's replaced after about 7 years. The classroom displays, many of them are new, but the old equipment is still there. So here, this picture, I don't know if you can see, but the new TV is there, looks great, works fine. But the old TV bracket is there. The projector is still there, which is no longer used. And then behind it, you can see an old PA speaker that's obsolete, not working, but it's still there. So we just observed a lot of that throughout the district. sound systems, whether that's in the classroom or the cafeterias or media centers. Those seem to be old and maybe not working so well. Student and staff devices, it sounds like you have a plan for, Brian was talking to Zane, it sounds like there's a plan in place for the student devices. That's kind of ongoing and has inertia, but it sounds like there needs to be a plan in place for some of the staff devices. And then the copiers and all those, office equipment, sounds like you have a lease agreement and that equipment's relatively new as well. So that seems to be a positive item in the district. Something for consideration. A lot of districts are going towards, newer furniture, maybe more mobile, depending on what your curriculum dictates. This is a picture of your classroom. The furniture looked fine. It seemed to be generally in good condition, but it's, it's rows and columns, pretty traditional. Again, this is a district call. I don't know what the curriculum is moving towards, but you can do a lot. You get a lot of bang for your buck with furniture, I think. Maybe if you can't afford the physical renovations to a room, you can do a lot with just furnishing it. So moving on to the financial info, I understand that PFM was here a while back to kind of introduce the topic of bonds and maybe go over some of your options. Just to recap that data, the good news is your district has no debt. That's great. The downside to that is you have no debt rolling off. And that's where a lot of districts are able to capitalize on maybe a drop in millage rate to go out to the voters for a replacement millage and not increase the millage rate. So anything you do would effectively be a tax increase. The data she put together for, again, it was an August 25 election. We're looking at an August 26 election. The numbers might change slightly. I don't know how much, but at that time, a 1 mil increase would have netted about 11 to 15 million, depending on how you structured the bonds. 2 mil increase between 23 and 31. 3 mil increase between 35 and 47. We would need to, firm those up and get the 2026 data, but I don't think it would be much different than the 2025 data. As we go through and start putting the work list together and putting costs to the items that you just saw, don't be shocked if the dollars needed exceed the dollars you have available. That's basically a universal.
Yeah, never had a district where
Yeah.
the needs didn't.
Way too much money. What do we do with all that?
Never
That is yet to happen.
You're not unique.
But that's the process that we're about to embark on is, we've got this much in needs, we have this much budget, what makes the cut? And that's something that, we need to come to common ground on. It's not our decision. It's a team decision, because eventually the plan's going to go before you to get your approval to go to the state. So we all need to be on the same page on what gets in, how big of a millage increase we want to ask the voters to support. And that is something that our campaign consultant that Stephanie mentioned helps, through focus panels, through surveys, kind of gauge the appetite for various components, like the things that we want to fix, maybe how much the community is willing to support, how much the community is willing to give up to make those things happen. Those are things she can kind of get a gauge on as we move forward.
Our goal is to compile all the information and give you all the information to make the decision that is best for the district. So we kind of just arm you with the data and the tools to make those decisions.
This is some recent. This is from PFM. I kind of took this from their presentation. I just like the graphic. It shows the last 10 years of the success rate of bond programs with a millage increase, with a millage increase and without a millage increase. And you can see over 10 years, the success rate without an increase is 84%. The success rate with a millage increase is about 51%. That's regardless of how big of an increase. That could be 1 mil, that could be 4 mils. So, you can see that there is no slam dunk here. There's something we really gotta be on the same page. We gotta say one message to the community. I think that's gonna be a really important part of this effort, is getting all on the same page and having that clear communication. We'll get into the schedule here in a bit, and I'll explain why. Get in a little deeper on that. This is the overall process. And putting a bond program together and going before the state treasury department and getting on the ballot. You can see we're about here. We're halfway through this facilities assessment phase. We've already walked the buildings. We're just putting costs to all the items now. That's where we're at. We've still got to develop the program, kind of put the preliminary program together, kind of decide where we want to go as far as how much of the tax increase, what the budget's going to be, and whittle down the program from there.
Yeah, and I will say one thing that we didn't kind of touch on was we walked all the buildings, but we also take into account like program needs. So maybe, you need another, I don't know, kindergarten classroom here, or you need to create more early childhood classrooms. So that's not something we're going to know just from looking at the space, but we'll have those discussions with the district to determine like, hey, it'd be really great if we could get or we want a STEM lab in the middle school, so we can put cost to that type of thing too. It's not just like the nuts and bolts of what you already have. It's what's the vision for the district. So, yeah.
So looking ahead to the next steps, in the next couple of months, we're going to be finalizing those work lists, putting the cost data together. September and October is where we hope to have a preliminary program put together that we could then take to the voters, take to those focus panels, test that, get a gauge for kind of where the community's at. Talk to Kelsey, and she is she's going to schedule the focus panels and the community surveys for December. And then we'll review those at a board meeting in January together. And that'll kind of tell us where the community's at, what their appetite is for the program that we kind of proposed to them. We can still make tweaks to that program from there. Given the feedback that they provide, we can make any tweaks that are necessary. In February is when we would have, the final program put together, bring before you, the board, to, get your approval before we go to meet with Treasury in March. In a few months, you'll be able to call your bond council, and they'll be able to set up a Treasury meeting, and that for an August election, that usually happens in March. And then after Treasury reviews the program, the next board meeting is when the board secretary, who's that? You'll sign the bond application. Then after that, there's a 30-day review period with the Department of Treasury. They review it for 30 days, send it back to you with any comments. And at that point, at your next election, which will be in April, you'll call for the election. Your attorney will officially file with the county to get your program on the ballot. And then once that happens, then you can officially begin the campaign. That's when you can officially start campaigning. You'll notice that's in April. The election's in August, which means absentee ballots are available sometime in June. So, now with a lot of people voting absentee, your election could be over by the time August rolls around. So you have essentially 3 months to tell your story, get out in front of voters, and communicate that. So it's critical. There's a lot of steps. I know it sounds like a lot, but that's kind of what our job is to kind of let you know what's coming, what the next step is. But that's kind of, in a nutshell, what to expect over the next year or so.
Any questions or comments? Anything we can help answer?
That's really good. Thank you. So when it comes to campaigning, who is allowed to campaign first? The board cannot campaign.
The district cannot campaign. You can provide informational, like stuff. You can't say vote yes. There can be like a citizens committee, like a vote yes committee, but it can't be the school district. So you can just provide like factual data about the campaign.
Kelsey
So,
will
and that-
support that.
Yep, yeah.
If someone in the community wants to, anyone
Say-
wants to step up and be and organize a vote yes committee, we can support that person or that group. Help them get, they have to file through the county. There's a process, but she'll walk them through that.
So in the campaign process, the district can put out like a one-page flyer just with factual information of what the bond will provide.
Correct,
It can't say vote yes.
correct. You can say that it's August 4th, it's 2 mills, it's these projects, but that's,
Can it put averages on there on what the tax increase would be?
yes, I believe, because that's factual information, yeah.
And Kelsey on their team is great and already has helped so much.
Yeah.
Like,
She'll walk you through exactly
All of the
what you can
advertising.
say, what you can't say.
yes, and then
Yeah.
she'll work with Devin, who we partnered with. Devin is our PR to do the short video clips.
Yep.
So we'll have video footage and Kelsey will coincide with them and myself and anybody else that is interviewed to put video footage out for the community as well.
Is it just board members that can't ask the community to vote yes, or is it employees of the district?
It's employees, anyone that's
Employees of the
represented.
district.
Can't publish stuff saying.
But their spouses are able to.
They don't work here.
Here,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a citizen then, like they're just a voter. Yeah.
Yeah, Kelsey's able to provide all that information, all the materials that you would send out, she can produce that. Advise you on what to say, what not to say, when to say it. She's also good about, suggesting places to be. Whether, if, some districts have a bingo night or,
Rotary club.
Yeah.
What, every
she's
district's a
good
little
about
different.
maybe suggesting some of those places to be, ways to kind of get the word out there.
So just out of curiosity, at a sporting event, can the announcer remind the public to vote?
I think that would be
As long
okay.
as you're not saying yes or no.
Kelsey would know for sure, but I don't think that'd be any
Yes,
different
as
than
long as
like,
you're saying, hey, remember the election?
The election's coming up.
But again,
Okay.
we'll get that nailed down. Kelsey will tell you exactly what you can and can't say.
one time there was a district that did a trivia night every quarter, and she had the superintendent weave in some like bond trivia in the so she's good about it.
Yeah, she'll work with you to.
Any other questions?
I just want to thank you guys again for being so awesome and in front of everybody here publicly again. I know I've said it to the board already, but you guys have already been so awesome and so incredibly supportive. And just like Stephanie and Larry said, there's a team of 5 that have been so great when they come and meet with us. And I also want to give them a shout out. They have already experienced one of our largest community supporters, Verna's bar, and they have frequented Verna's a couple times now and
Yeah.
enjoyed.
For
And they asked
place
us
to
for
go.
recommendations over the years. Yeah, oh yeah, and they even took a selfie of themselves at the table and all the things. So we've already started the teamwork and we just really appreciate you guys and the information that you're giving. And most important to me is just the being so forthright and letting us know the things like you're not unique to this, because some of it feels a little doom and gloom because we are older, an older district with older things. But it made me feel a lot better knowing that there's lots of different districts around, whether they're surrounding us or in other counties, that you guys have had so much experience knowing that it's okay. And there's priorities for a reason,
Yeah,
right?
we
So,
understand that this is not something you do every day, so we're happy to like hold your hand and
yes,
guide you through it.
yes. Just want to give you another shout out for that. And thank you for coming out this evening. I know you don't live local and it just means a lot to make the drive to come out and explain not just to the board, but the community, the things that we're going to do moving forward. So,
It's great to be here. We love working with your team.
thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right. you're up. Report of the superintendent with personnel updates.
All right. So we have Caitlin Long resigned effective July 14th, 2025. She was our high school science teacher, one of them. And I just want to give her a shout out and the reason for her resignation. We're excited for her. She is going to embark on teaching abroad in Japan for the next year. So there was no any type of hard feelings or anything. We're in full support of Caitlin and we certainly wish her the best in her next endeavor moving forward. So, isn't it? Yes, we're excited for her. And then we also we're excited for Mrs. Liggett, Miss Zita Liggett, one of our high school cafeteria employees is retiring effective June 30th, 2025. Zita has been with us for a long time and the food service department as well as the district also wishes her very well. Thank you, Jackie. I heard you. Thank
Some
you.
of my whisper.
I appreciate it. Yes, thank you. Bye, you guys. So we wish Mrs. Liggett the best as well for her retirement. That's it.
Okay, up next is the MASB Annual Leadership Conference, which is in October, 23rd to the 25th, I believe,
Thursday through Saturday. In the past, we've sent 1, 2, sometimes 3 board members. Talking with, I'm gonna mess up his name. What was his name? Green?
Rod Green.
Rod Green.
Yeah.
Several districts are now sending the whole board if they can attend. There are many different classes you can take there. So I could take one, you could take a different one, and then you meet in the evening to discuss, or you can meet when you come back to the school. This is a cost to the district. There is a reimbursement of, I don't remember what it was. He told me, I think it was a 25 or 30% reimbursement per person if you send a whole group. That's the only way we get the discount is if we send a whole group. So it's just something to keep. It's in Traverse City.
Traverse City in October.
So if anyone is interested, we need to discuss probably at the August meeting who wants to attend. And then get with the Karen to have the conference booked. She'll book all the accommodations and the classes you want to take.
Is August too late for hotels and stuff?
I don't think registration is open until August.
Okay.
So I think we should be okay. We could get stuck at the Econo Lodge again.
I think it's open now.
Is it open now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's an early discount
There's early discount.
of the,
How much is the discount?
right now it's $440 for the early discount.
All right. Well, I'm going to send you guys an email
I don't remember.
to respond to me if you're interested in going, and then we'll take it from there. It'll have to be a vote in August. We can still make the accommodations and then vote, but I'll send an email out tomorrow afternoon, and gauge it for interest. So I just wanted you guys to all be aware that it's coming up, and I've been to one. I think Jackie's been to one,
I've been to 2.
to 2.
It's amazing, and I got to network with other people around the district, or not the district, the county, which was really nice.
Okay, so we will talk about it in August, and I'll send the email out. Let me write that down. Moving on to the report of the Director of Business and Finance. In board docs, you received the purchasing card statement. Are there any questions for Deb on the purchasing card statement? None? Okay. Subject B is the check registry. Any questions on the check registry? Okay, none there. Subject C is a financial update. You have one for me?
Well, kind of.
All right.
So we have finished our prelim audit, which consisted of our accounts receivable, accounts payable, and a small sampling of payroll. We did not have any findings through the prelim. We do have our full auction that'll happen. The auditors will be on site August 18th. And that'll be the true live in-depth everything will be that week. Right now, we're just working on cleaning up things. You guys all know that we're actually down a person at the moment because Lori's on vacation. She'll be back August 1st. So right now we're kind of all scrambling, filling in all the pieces at the moment.
Just good news, 0 findings on the prelim.
So yes. I'm very happy with that. So we're just keeping the wheels moving right now.
All right. Any questions for Deb?
Thank you for this. Well, and I'll get you, I'm working on
And
it. A little behind.
and you can change that format too, if that doesn't work for you, if something works better. As long as we have a report like this,
It's really helpful.
it's really helpful for us, but I mean, if you want to change the format, that's fine.
Okay.
If something is easier for you, that's something that I think started with, you think it was before Heidi even, I think she just copied and pasted from Wanell, so.
Okay.
Yeah, if you need to change it, that's fine too.
So probably once Lori gets back, I'll get you the next one.
Okay,
A little behind, taking care of the main important things first.
okay. We'll hold you to it.
Yep.
Moving on to facilities, facility updates. Mr. Dunn.
I'll reiterate what Amy said, part of now, that team was great. We interviewed several different companies. Light years above and beyond everybody else, did a great job. So, work with, as Larry mentioned, we walked the whole entire district, every inch of it, top and bottom, with that team. And when he mentioned the roofs, I just want to say the roofs are probably at least 5 years past their life cycle. I mean, the roofs are literally, you go up there, they're powdered. Some of them are, the seams are letting loose, there's cracks in it. Like at So we're going to build a building, fixing leaks. At So we fixed 8 of them this past week. We're now at the middle school, there's 21 that we've identified leaks. At North, there's 4. At the high school, there's at least 15 of them that we've identified. It seems like when you fix one, it seems like it pushes the water.
It just runs down, yeah.
I realize there's another one, so it's crazy. It's ponding, as you show pictures of it, that ponding, the water just sits and waits for it to get out. Either you push it off, or you still get to push it off, or it keep evaporates. So that's how the water gets off of it. So I just want to say that they're doing an amazing job. Cement, we're doing a number of projects. Ashley Concrete was here. They fixed the walkway from the track, from the middle school to the track, which was all cracked. It was low. People were literally, they had blocks out there. They were walking across. That's been fixed. We got to do some drainage on the other side. We got to fix the dirt on the inside of it. But, that's fixed. The 2 drain basins on the west side of the building here by the rec center. One of them actually washed out because whoever did it previous years ago used brick, regular brick from a house, and all the dirt and stuff washed out behind it. They actually washed down in there, so that actually caved in. The other one, the surface of it, all the concrete had broken up. Not that it would cave in, but all the concrete was broken where the buses go, so he fixed that. He fixed a piece of concrete in front of the rec center that's heaving, it was raised about 1.5 inches. Trip hazard, part of it was broken, and she had cones up there, so people had to walk around. He fixed that, he just got to cut it, and then fill the dirt in there. So the only thing we'll have to do, big thing, is that main drain that we're caved in. So that's out in the middle part. Football ticket booth, we ordered some countertops for the inside of it, and hopefully get that installed before the football season starts. Again, that looks amazing. We're waiting on the gating for it. Sounds like they're back ordered. They should be in within the next couple of weeks. Track repairs are currently being done. We met with both the track guy and the asphalt guy who did the repairs. Track guy wanted some other stuff fixed around the track. So we're working on getting those repairs done. Air conditioning at the middle school. Jacob Street's finished up the electrical panel relocation. That should be done this week. There's also one unit inside he's got to fix. He ordered that piece for it. That should be all done this week. Girls locker room. Again, we're on track to finish this before the school year. Math wing chiller. Service 2.0 was the only one that gave us a quote that was feasible to do. Everybody else we had to give us a quote, wanted to replace the whole thing for $120,000. So that guy is on vacation. Been in contact with the office over there. As soon as he gets back with us, because they had an old quote that's a year old, I want to make sure it's still good. Once they get back with us, hopefully we get working on that. The air conditioning at the rec center, they've already started those. I think 2 of them are complete. Lisa sounds like it's working great. She loves it. Actually, one of the girls had the one turn off. It's so cool. North air conditioner, that should be seeds out there. It's supposed to be out there this week to work on that, get that fixed. Chemistry lab, we paint the chemistry lab. I think we need to paint the cabinets because it looks really bad. Then we're gonna paint them black to cover up the look on them. Then we also still gotta replace 6 Bunsen burners on the top and 2 faucets over there. Fire panel sprinkler systems, we're still working with JCI and fixing a couple areas identified in the high school rec center area. North greenhouse sunroom, OBR, Ohio Building Restoration, has been working over there. And they're seeking replacement for the materials on the skylights. Again, the roofing, we repaired all the so we're working on the middle school currently. Parking lots, we received quotes for the rec center and North Elementary. I think those are the only parking lots with coating, so we can maintain them. And hopefully, we're going to pull the trigger on that probably before the school year. That way we can get it done. We got to go through North, changing the parking lot around. That's going to take a little more discussion, make sure we get that right. Built their first program. Salt Elementary is done, except for one electrical outlet we got to run. They're currently going to North Elementary for filter first, so it'll be North, then the middle school, then the high school. That's the order they're going to, and hopefully that's, not hopefully, it will be done before the school year. Other summer projects, we're working with the teams and completing our summer project list. All the custodians, we're working with them. Michael, Jerry's living with Sam, helping Michael to get all that stuff done before the school year starts. Transportation, we're working on scheduling for all busing. As in the past, the routes are released on Friday prior to Labor Day. This is due because of the influx of new registrations. So we can adjust and accommodate all those changes. We're currently seeking more bus drivers. We're adding a route, which will require us to get another bus driver to help us out for athletic runs. So if you know any bus drivers,
Do we have enough buses to bring on another driver? I mean, are we gonna limp one of the ones that we kind of set aside for the new ones?
2 buses that went down, one for the engine, the other one for the transmission. We're almost done swapping out the transmissions. So we're switching transmissions after pulling the one out. The bus where the engine was blown, that transmission is a refurbished transmission, so it's not new, but it's fairly new.
Right.
And it's not 25 years old, it's only 5 years old. We're switching that. He's got it in right now. Hopefully it's on the road tomorrow, running, so we test that.
Oh, nice.
So, they're old, we're still gonna be working on them every day.
Yeah.
I still wake up in the morning, hoping they all start, but,
Yeah.
he's doing a good job.
Then the last question, so school, last year we had the big AC project. How's that? I
It's
mean-
going good.
Is it doing the job?
Doing his job, we still got the unit ventilators in there, they're
Right.
old.
Yeah.
We still gotta work on those. Condensation's an issue because the hot and cold on the outside. Still gotta change the valves, still gotta keep them oil. We replaced one of the motors in one of them, replaced the bearings in one of them this summer, so we're still got. We're just working on their old.
Awesome.
Again, Jerry and Michael, like I said, Jerry's helping Michael's custodian in high school and helping out summer trying to get all that taken care of.
Perfect. That's awesome.
You know?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. New business. Subject A is the hiring of Taylor Duval, North Elementary Technology Teacher. Motion to approve Taylor Duval as the North Elementary Technology Teacher, effective for the 25-26 school year, pending satisfactory completion of the criminal history check and Public Act 189 1230B requirements.
Motion.
Mr. Foster, supported by Mr. Barton. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Subject B is the approval of desktop purchase. Motion to authorize the administration to proceed with the purchase of desktops from TSG in the amount of $29,293.80.
Motion.
Mrs. Lancaster,
Support.
supported by Ms. Evans. Discussion?
Yes, real quick. Where are these laptops? I seen that,
Desktop.
desktops. Where are these going? Are these for the high school?
Yeah, we need to get brand new for our lab. The computer lab at the high school, the computers are so ancient. We have students that have reported that it takes 15 minutes just to get it booted up. And that's a 15-minute loss of instructional time because they're so outdated. So we needed to repair those so we can actually have a functioning. And then the way that Zane explained it to Deb and I, to further support the why, is we have programming that our kids deserve to be exposed to, such as Photoshop and all the different things that they're wanting to do. And the current technology that we have in that room is not up to par to do the things for the kids. So when they have that elective, right now they're kind of blocked from exploring and being able to do the things that the computer teacher wants to do. So Mr. Fiskus is definitely thrilled to be able to expand the knowledge base for our students in that class.
Will this be, if it were to be awarded, then would this be there for the beginning of the school year for the
Yes.
students?
That's why we made sure to add it onto this agenda.
Any other discussion? This is paid for out of the technology.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Subject C is the approval of Chromebook purchase. Motion to authorize the administration to proceed with the purchase of Chromebooks from CDWG in the amount of $70,732.80.
Support.
Mrs. Lancaster, supported by Mr. Foster. Discussion.
Where are these going?
These are the replacements for incoming freshmen. So you guys might remember that when we have, for example, our middle school students receive their Chromebook when they begin middle school, and then they phase out in 8th grade, because they're usually Chromebooks, they say there's like a 3-year lifespan-ish by the time you have to refurbish and get new ones to renew. So we don't send the 8th grade students to the high school with those Chromebooks. They get a new Chromebook in 9th grade, and then it stays with them through the 4 years of the high school. So these are to give, what?
The incoming freshmen.
Yeah, incoming freshmen, the 8th graders. That's what these are for. Yes.
Okay.
I thought you used a different word. I was like, wait, what'd you say? We're not refurbishing them. No, I thought you said refurbish. We're like, we are not refurbishing. We're renewing. Yes.
Are they also technology knowledge? Or I mean, money?
Yes, correct.
Any other discussion on Chromebooks? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And other items the board wishes to consider. And I will start with me. On the agenda, the COW agenda or the regular board meeting agenda somewhere, I know you're gonna include it in your update, but I would like it to be on the agenda, the current enrollment.
Okay,
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Just so we can see the number
always
every month.
put it on the agenda.
It can be a part of the superintendent update.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be an agenda item, but in in your update, you could just say our current enrollment is X amount of students.
Sure thing.
Anything for you? Good? Good.
I'm good.
Good.
Perfect.
You're good. All right. Moving on to citizens. Do you have any?
I had nothing.
And closing comments from administration?
No, I'm gonna keep it short today.
You want to talk about some of the fair items?
Oh, we probably should. Yes, good call.
I don't have all.
Yes, Vanna White over here would like to show
What are giveaways?
our giveaways for the upcoming fair, our fair booth. So everybody knows we did expand. We asked, Karen did an awesome job by calling over and getting us a double space. So we're gonna have more room at our fair booth. So the board had asked us earlier this school year to spice things up a little bit and have a little bit more pizzazz. I think we did a nice job with the slideshows, that type of stuff, but we want to attract more people to our booth with giveaways and conversation of all the things that we're doing. So the wheel is in the,
Want me to grab it or?
yep, look at him. Thank you, Mr. Dunn. Yes, so we have leftover 3 boxes of the Be a Bear, the family t-shirts that we had at the Be a Bear event. So we are going to give away those t-shirts for the first, however many we haven't done the count yet, but there's well over 100. So like, let's just say 100 for easy conversation. So the first 100 people will get a free t-shirt, a little giveaway to encourage people to come see us. First come, first serve. And then in addition to that, we have tons of leftover sunglasses from last year. Those were popular with the kids. And then we have 4,000, that's a real number, chip clips left over. So-
Putting a magnet on the back.
Hooray!
That was the biggest.
We're
ask.
gonna add the magnet, but we're not gonna order more because it was gonna cost us more. So Karen, crafty Karen is gonna help us.
Karen's gonna put 4,000 magnets
Yep.
on.
Yep, you ask and you shall receive. Yeah,
Don't answer your phone.
I
Just
can come in
volunteer.
and say, I can
Mike
come
just
in.
volunteered.
there we go.
That's what I heard.
My girls love
Yeah.
crafts. So we'll send
There we go.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
So then we're going to have chapstick. And
Yay!
then we're gonna put Jefferson Schools and then our website and phone number.
What
These are-
flavor?
These are all ordered.
It's various fruity.
Nice.
And then we're gonna use cowbells and we're gonna put a sticker on it that says,
Made from grit, driven from heart, or driven by heart, powered by Jefferson.
yeah.
And at the top, it says Jefferson Bears with our bear head.
I think it just should say more cowbell.
And then the last thing, it's gonna be, goes on the back of your cell phone for your credit cards. It's not gonna have the little pop-it on there, but it sticks. So it's kind of a sample, but it's not the right one. And then so it'll stick on the back of your cell phone and you put your credit card in.
And it says Jefferson Schools with the
It'll
bear
say
head.
Jefferson Schools.
Yep.
Yeah.
Royal
So
Blue.
when you lose your cell phone, you can lose your credit card with
You
it.
got it.
Yes, there you go. Perfect.
That's why I refuse to do it.
Yes.
And then the cinch, backpack.
Yes, we have cinch backpacks. The royal blue, you know, the typical, like the thin bag ones that pull drawstring, that say Jefferson Schools with a bear head as well. So there's consistency across the board, just so everybody knows. We have completely confirmed with our brand, with athletics and district, that our brand is the bear head. If you haven't noticed the trend, we are eliminating all of that claw from the district. So all shirts, we are no longer going to brand that. Our gym floors are being redone with the bear head. We still obviously still have some claws like on our signage and things of that nature, but we want it to be consistent. So when people see the bear head, they know that's Jefferson. We need more consistency and follow through with that. So any shirts that are made from this point forward only will be able to have bear head and their sport and stuff like that. So Mindy, give Miss Nikos a huge shout out. It shifted a little bit on that piece, but Mindy whipped this up today. So it'll draw. We wanted, yeah, she just temporarily threw it up there so she could come and show us to see if we were okay with it. But she made this today. So that way this will draw people to come in and start conversation and kids love it. Yes. And so that way people aren't coming up. So do adults. Yeah. So that way they're not coming up to just grab 5 or 6 things off our table and walk away. They have to spin the wheel to see what prize they're going to win. And then while they're spinning, we can say, oh, you know, where are you from? And what grade are you in? And just start that conversation with families and children alike. So I want to give a shout out to Jen Wendells and Carrie Wendells and Elisa Epler and Mindy Mikos. What? Well, Karen's not going to set it up. They're taking it. Well, Karen's doing sewing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So because Karen's doing double time, the reason why I'm saying those 4 first is because Karen has been really, as you guys know, the guru and the in charge of the booth, setting all the things up. Karen needs some things taken off of her plate at this time. So it was, of course, no surprise. People stepped up immediately as soon as there was an ask for help to set up the booth. And those 4 stepped up immediately. I said, I can be there to help set up. I said, I can't come up with any ideas because I'm not creative whatsoever. I said, but you can tell me what to do. Just don't put me on a ladder. I don't like heights. So Karen is, I guess there's First Merchant Bank is the curtain where the booths are. And it's green. I know everyone loves that color. So Karen is sewing literally on a dowel rod with 2x4s. She's whipping this up, of course, in Karen land because she's so creative. And she's sewing it across and putting like sheets of, I don't even know, material. She's doing her thing. So it'll be Jefferson backdrop. Athletics, Mindy and Elisa were down today and they had a creative lady session, and they all got together and talked about between the athletics backdrop and all the things and Mindy's pictures, and they're rolling. They're excited to get this rocking and rolling. And as you know, Karen sent out the sign up today for people that wanted to work the booth, and we were super, super proud of how many people, like, it was like a battle of, like, Karen got like inundated with emails like, well, did I get my time? Did I get my time? Like, people are like wanting to be there. How exciting is that? So super grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, because one year we had our time back.
Yeah. Like, so much so that we might have to remove you from a couple.
That's good.
You were so great to sign up for so many slots, but
Because last year I had to do
yeah, no, there's
7.
there's so many people that are upset they're not getting a slot. Isn't that great?
I won't be removed. I'll still be.
Well, sure. You know what I mean, though. We don't want people to feel like they can't.
It's fine.
Yes, it's so exciting. So, yeah. So that's it from me.
All right. Closing comments from the board. Good.
Thanks, Joe, for the heads up. Thank you for the report. Great. Thank you guys all for being here.
Super exciting to hear all of the things that we're gonna get fixed when we get our bond, but I can't say vote yes. Thank you guys all for taking the time here to be here tonight. I hope your summers are good.
Just want to thank Barton Marlowe again for their presentation. Jody, for that, who you're doing. Audience, thank you for being here.
Say, enjoy the rest of your summer. And at this time, we will take about a 3 to 5 minute pause. We're going to move into closed session. Remove me from my spots. Those are my spots every year.